mode of nucleation. So keep on writing down, or you can take this screenshot as well. Look.
Okay.
There are certain mode of nutrition in this earth. So different animals. So just the source of the energy in this world is just sun. That is the only source of energy from which every animal, every plant, every creature gets energy either directly or indirectly. That is the only source of the energy in this. One more important thing which I want to tell you, that whatever the insolation or whatever the energy sun releases, only 1% of that energy falls on the our hemisphere, that is the earth. Out of this 1%, 10% comes down in our earth surface, right? Out of that 10%, only 1%, out of that 10%, only 1% is converted from solar energy to chemical energy. And from that 1%, the whole biosphere or whole earth is taking the energy, or the energy flow which is going from one trophic level to another trophic level, that is only 1%, right? So that is the part of energy. In total, the whatever the insolation falls on the earth, only 1% of that, only 1% of that is taking care of the whole world or whole living world, right? So there are two kind of the nutrition, basically, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Okay. So mode of nutrition. Mode of nutrition. So there are two kind of the mode of nutrition. Autotrophic autotrophic. One more important thing which I want to ask you, there are two terms, two biological terms. So one of the first biological term, that is a trophic. So rather than trophic, I must say phototrophic. So there are
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, let me tell you. Just wait. Let me write it down. Then I'll ask you that what is the difference between two. So there are two terms: phototrophic, TROPHIC, right? And there is one more term, phototropic. What is the difference between two? Phototrophic and phototropic. You must have gone through with both of the terms, right? If I'm not wrong. Do you know what is the difference between two?
Sorry, sir, I couldn't hear you for some reason.
You can't listen me. Just. Am I audible to you right now?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So what I was asking you, Affafa, there are two biological terms, phototrophic and phototropic. What is the difference between these two? Have any idea?
No.
Okay. So I want to make it clear because you will get these both of the term frequently, right? So you must know what is the difference. Okay. Look, Affafa, actually there are two terms. Photo means you must have gone through with your physics lectures. Photo means photon, that is light, right? Photo term reflect for light. So this photo term reflect for light. This is basically Latin. So photo means light. That is for sure. It means both of them. These term denote for light. There is one more term, trophic, TROPHIC. Trophic means food. If any organism is making food with the help of light, that is phototrophic, right?
Okay.
The tropic term denote for movement.
Okay.
Means anything which is moving due to light, because of light. then we call it phototropic. So what is the practical meaning of both of the term? When we say that plant are phototrophic organism, when the plant are phototrophic, T-R-O-P-H-I-C, when the plants are phototrophic organism, it means plants are those which are making food with the help of light. When I say that the stem of the plant shows phototropic movement, it means stem of plant is moving in the direction of light, right? When I say roots are negative phototropic, it means roots are moving in opposite direction of the light, and that's what happened. Clear? Both of you are clear?
Yes.
Please note it down, these both of the terms, right? Because I told you, because you may get confused during when someone asks you question, what is the phototrophic and what is phototrophic? Yeah, right. Okay. So there is a mode of nutrition. What does it mean, mode of nutrition? Mode of nutrition means the way any organism is taking food. That is the mode of nutrition, right? When I say autotrophic, when any organism is making its own food, means it is capable enough to make its own food. It is not dependent on any other organism, right? So that is called autotrophic, right? So auto means self and trophic means food, means nutrition. So self nutrition means those which are making their own food, they are called autotrophic, right? Okay. Now the autotrophic organism can be of two types. Afafa, you have to tell me when I am not properly audible to you, right?
Yeah, I will.
First of them are phototrophic. Photo means light. Break the term. That's how you have to learn the biology. Break the term. Photo means light. Auto means self, and trophic means nutrition. Means they make their own nutrition with the help of light. Clear? The term itself reflects what does it mean, right? So photoautotrophic are those which make their own food with the help of light. Example, Afafa, example, photoautotrophic, which makes their own food with the help of light. Who are those? Example,
Plants.
green plant. All green plant. All green plant, they make their own food with the help of light. Isn't correct? Correct?
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay, that's correct. Actually, look, photo means light, auto means self, and trophic means nutrition. So those organisms which make their own nutrition or their own food with the help of light, they are called photoautotrophic. Clear?
Yes.
So all of the plant, they make their own food with the help of light. That's why we say that plant are photoautotrophic. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So is there any other organism which make their own food without help of light?
Without help of light.
Yeah, there are some exceptions. There are some plant, I'm sorry. There are some organisms which make their own food without help of light. Let me tell you.
I don't know.
Can you guess? No?
No.
Okay. Most of the students do not guess this one. They are called chemo. Chemo means chemical.
Yeah.
Autotroph. Got? So how does they make their food? These are those organism which make their food, which makes their food with the help of chemical. With the help of chemical. So can you tell me the example of those organism? Yes, there are some examples like sulfur bacteria. So sulfur bacteria.
I never heard of that.
Did you heard the name of sulfur bacteria?
No, no.
Actually, look, sulfur bacteria are those bacteria which are found in the sulfur rocks. What they do, they break the sulfur molecules. With the help of breaking sulfur molecule, they derive the energy. They neither take energy from the sunlight, nor they take energy from the any other source. So they are making their own food, but not from the light, with the help of chemical. So we call them chemoautotroph. So autotroph or autotrophic organism are those which make their own food. Autotrophic organism can be of two types: photoautotrophic and chemoautotrophic. Photoautotrophic are those organisms which make their food with the help of light, like green plant. Chemoautotrophs are those organisms which make their food with the help of light, with the help of chemical. For example, sulfur bacteria. One more example, you must have heard that name, methane bacteria. Did you? Methane bacteria?
No, no.
Actually, the Mars gas or the methane gas comes out from these bacteria. Look, let me tell you. Methane bacteria. Let me tell you one example. If I'm not wrong, you must have listened the methane gas.
Yes.
Okay, so methane gas is very poisonous and very combustible kind of the gas. It is highly combustion, right? Methane bacteria. When you will go through with the news, different news, you must have listened that there are some people, they go in the mines or they go in the sewage treatment plants and they die inside because of leakage of the gas. You must have listened this news across the world.
Yeah.
That what happened. So what is that gas? Actually, what happens in mud, in sewage, and inside the that coal mines, what happened? These bacteria are found methane bacteria. What they do, they make the methane gas with the help of carbon, right? And they release the methane gas. And because of leakage of these gas, the people die when they go to clean the gutter, when they go inside the coal mines. So this is the gas which leak out because of these bacteria, and because of this gas, those labor and those workers die, right? So methane bacteria are also a type of chemoautotroph. So there are two examples which you have to remember, that is the methane bacteria and sulfur bacteria. Is that crystal clear to you?
Yes.
Fine. Note it down?
Yeah.
Okay. Now come to the second kind of the nutrition. So that is called the second kind of the nutrition, that is the heterotroph. Heterotroph, right? Or we can say heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Heterotroph are those organisms which take nutrition directly or indirectly. Indirectly from plant. For sake of example, deer. So example is deer. Deer is eating grass, right? So it is taking directly from plant. There is one more example, lion. So lion is taking nutrition indirectly from plant. How? Because
when it eats deer, he gets the nutrition of plant and the deer itself.
a deer is dependent on the plant, right? So this is indirectly dependent on plant. So all those organisms which are directly, indirectly dependent on the plant, they are called heterotrophic nutrition. So there are two kinds of the nutrition: autotroph, heterotroph. So photoautotroph are given in your notebook, but chemoautotroph is not there. So I have told you chemoautotroph, right? Note it down.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was the first heading of your notebook, textbook. So first thing that was, and what is the next topic? Your textbook. Let me go through with it. The second topic is in your textbook. That is the energy source of the cells. Okay, ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Fine. So the second heading in your textbook, that is the ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Let me tell you what is the ATP. Have you listened the name of ATP before this class?
Yes.
So tell me, what is ATP actually?
Adenine triphosphate.
So how does it work?
Oh dear. Why are you asking such questions? I keep on forgetting.
Let me explain you what is the ATP actually. So
It provides energy, right?
right, it's energy molecule. It provides energy. So look, how does the ATP work and what is the function? ATP is a type of chemical. Whenever suppose that before coming to the class, I take in some food, right? Bread,
Mhm.
potato, something else, right? So when I take in the food, I have that chew the food. It goes inside my intestine, where it is digested, broken down into small molecule, then simplified by the help of enzyme. Then it is absorbed by our intestine. After that, it goes into my blood, absorbed by the blood. Then blood circulate across my body. Then this glucose or some small molecule, they goes inside the cell. Inside the cell, these all chemical like glucose, carbohydrate, and other like some fat, they goes inside my cell. Inside cell, they goes into mitochondria. Into mitochondria is a type of uh, a stove gas, or it's a type of furnace where the burning of all these fat and carbohydrate takes place. Because of the burning of that, the production of energy takes place in the form of chemical, and the name of that chemical is ATP. After the burning, number of ATP get collected inside my all of the cells. Then I started working, teaching, or some physical work. So when I start teaching, so when ATP get collected after the burning of that food, when ATP get accumulated in my cells, then what happens? A lot of energy get accumulated inside my body. When I start working, so it is like the battery has been charged, right? When I start working, so on that time, these chemical molecule, these ATP molecule start breaking down, right? When they breaks down, the energy is released, and that energy help us to do some physical work, right? That's how the process takes place. Clear? So this was the overview of ATP. Did you got what is the ATP?
Yes.
Okay, Affaf. So now adenosine triphosphate. Look, let me tell you what is adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. So look, actually it is named so because there the structure of adenosine triphosphate is like there is a sugar. This is a kind of sugar molecule. Sorry, not sugar molecule, nitrogen base. This is a type of nitrogen base. And name of the nitrogen base is adenosine. Adenosine. Now what happened in adenosine? There are three phosphate molecule which remains interlinked with the help of bond, right? So these are three phosphate molecules. So what we say, adenosine, and there are three phosphate molecules. So what we call tri, and they are the,
Phosphate.
so we call them triphosphate, right? Now how they are connected and how they are interlinked with the help of they are interlinked with the help of some bond, right? So when there are some bonds which breaks down easily, so we make this kind of the symbol in bonding, right? So these are the phosphate bond, right? So when these bond breaks down, so what happened? The energy is released, right? This is the ATP. Now the energy get accumulated with the help of ATP molecule. What happened? Suppose that I have started some physical work or some mental work, whatever any kind of the work. So whenever I start the work, these ATP molecule breaks down into ADP molecule. What happens? This one bond breaks down. So this this is the,
Sir, how does the bond break?
let me tell you what is the bond breaks. This okay. So this ATP breaks down into ADP, adenosine diphosphate, right? Adenosine diphosphate. Phosphate. So we call it ADP. So ATP breaks down into ADP, right? This ATP, adenosine triphosphate, ATP, it breaks down into ADP, right? When ATP breaks down into ADP, what happens? Now, where is that phosphate? This phosphate gets released from here. This is that's how we write. We call it PI. This PI is called inorganic phosphate. Inorganic phosphate. Organic phosphate.
Why is it called inorganic phosphate?
Why does it is called inorganic phosphate? That's what you are asking.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a minute. Actually, this is in the form of, this is not organic because this is just a phosphate, PO4, right? It's a phosphate, right? So this is just this is inorganic compound, right? This is not no more organic compound. ATP is organic compound, right? So what is the difference between organic and inorganic compound? Organic compounds are those compounds which are made in some inside the body of some, or they are directly or indirectly produced by the living organism, right? So ATP is produced from the living organism. It cannot be produced by non-living organism, right? So that's why this is called organic, right? And why it is called inorganic? Those compounds which are not produced by the living organism, rather they are found naturally in the soil, right? They are called inorganic, right? So this phosphate is found outside of the body, in the earth as well, and that's why this is an inorganic compound. Did you got that point? It is found in the rocks.
Yes.
So, okay, there was one more question which you asked, that how does it breaks down? ATP breaks down into ADP with the help of enzyme. That is called ATPase enzyme. There is some enzyme which help to break down of ATP into ADP. That's how the energy takes place. And the name of that enzyme is ATPase enzyme. Let me tell you, let me write it down, the name of that enzyme. That is called ATPase, right? So ATPase enzyme is that enzyme which help breaking down of ATP into ADP, and that's how the energy is released for some physical work. And what we call this process? We call this process hydrolysis of ATP. Hydrolysis of ATP. Is it clear to you, Affaf? Tell me. Tell me honestly.
Hydrolysis of ATP, right?
Right. Hydrolysis of ATP, or So if it's not complex for you, then you can write it down. There is one more technical name of this process that is called dephosphorylation. Should I write it down?
Yeah.
Dephosphorylation. This reaction is also known as dephosphorylation. Dephosphorylation. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now the circle which have been mentioned in your notebook. Do you have your notebook with you right now?
No, not the reader. I have a PDF only. That's how I sent you the PDF.
Okay. So after the class, you can go through with the PDF. In case if you have
Yeah.
any doubt on that PDF, you can ask me in next class as well. Right now, I am following the same sequence and same concept which has been mentioned in your textbook. Right? What happens?
Okay.
So now what happened? ATP breaks down into ADP. Again, what happens? Again, when the food is burned in our body inside the mitochondria, what happened? Now ADP again combined with the help of combined with the inorganic phosphate PI, and again the formation of ATP takes place, right? So what we call this process? So when
Condensation.
ADP convert into ATP, we call it
Condensation of ATP.
that was the layman term, and we call it phosphorylation, right?
Yeah.
Phosphorylation, right? When formation of ATP takes place, we call it phosphorylation. When breakdown of ATP takes place, we call it dephosphorylation. Is that clear? Crystal clear?
Yeah. Yes.
So should I dictate you some paragraph or some points in this topic? If you will say, then
Yeah.
I'll dictate. Please write it down. ATP is known as ATP is known as.
Sorry, sir, I couldn't hear you.
You couldn't hear me. Everything's okay. I have well connectivity. I don't know why.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay. Fine. So please start writing now. ATP is known as energy currency of the cell. Energy currency of the cell, because every organism gets energy, because every organism gets energy at the expense of ATP. Expense of ATP. Full stop. It is universally found. It is universally found in all organism. It is universally found in all organism. It is universally found in all organism. Full stop. ATP breaks down. Next point. ATP breaks down into ADP with the help of ATP breaks down into ADP with the help of ATPase enzyme. ATP breaks down into ADP with the help of ATP breaks down into ADP with the help of a universal enzyme called ATPase. Called ATPase, and then energy is released, and then energy is released. Full stop. The process of, next point, the process of formation of ATP, the process of formation of ATP is called, the process of formation of ATP is called phosphorylation. Is called phosphorylation. And what you have to do, please write it down, this reaction which I am writing now. ATPase, and what will happen then? The formation of ADP will take place, formation of ADP will take place, and then energy is released, and then formation of inorganic phosphate. Please write down this reaction, Fafa. If you'll get question,
The last one, or
yeah,
the
last
whole
one.
thing?
Last one.
Yeah, I'm done.
Last one, and please note it down, this one as well. The above one.
The above one, okay.
Yeah. After that, at the end of this lecture, at the end of this topic, please note it down, this above diagram. Done.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. So this was all about the ATP. One more important thing which I want to share with you. Let me show you a diagram of ATP, and I want you to note it down, please. Give me 1 minute, just.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the diagram of ATP. Yes, Affaf. This is the diagram of ATP, right? So you can note it on this diagram. It's easy diagram.
Okay.
Actually, ATP is made up of three things. If someone asks you that what is the composition of ATP, this adenosine is nitrogen based. That will become a bit deep, but I'm just telling you for sake of your knowledge, right? This is actually this adenosine is nitrogen based. This is a type of nitrogen base. This ribose is a type of sugar, and phosphate, you know, that is an organic phosphate sugar, right? So this is the combination of base, sugar, and phosphate. And it is mentioned over here, when first bond will break down, then generally first bond is breaks. So lot of energy is released. Then when at the emergency situation, second bond will break down, then some energy will release. And when at the ultra emergency situation, third bond will break down, then very little amount of energy will be released.
Done.
Done? Okay.
Yes.
Now come to the, so both of the topic clear, right?
Yeah.
Come to the next topic of your textbook. Yes. So the next topic, making the electron transport chain. Okay. So, okay, photosynthesis process. Then photosynthesis process. Importance of chloroplast. Okay. So now we are going deep inside the chapter. So mode of nutrition, I have told you that we have discussed photosynthesis process. Okay. Photos. So okay. Affaf?
Yeah. Sorry, sir.
No issue.
I accidentally
No issue. No issue. Okay. So
left
Affaf,
the meeting.
no issue. So look, Affaf, the next topic is, which is given over there in your textbook. You can see that the next topic is, that is electron transport chain. That is one of the most complex part of this chapter. And then it is written over here, that is what is the role of chlorophyll, chloroplast and chlorophyll. What is a chloroplast? What is a chlorophyll? Right? Thylakoid grain. I think we have discussed that thing, but still we are again going to discuss. Then PAR, photo active radiation. Right? So what is the photosynthetically active radiation? What are the photosystem? Okay, fine. So let me discuss it one by one. So first thing which we are going to discuss, that is the photosynthesis process, right? And the role of chloroplast. You can put the heading photosynthesis process and the role of chloroplast. Now we'll discuss one by one. First, photosynthesis process. How does it take place? So as we have already discussed, I want your focus over here. And in case if you are not getting me, or if any point is not crystal clear, not only clear, it must be crystal clear, 100% clear. If there is any doubt, feel free to ask me, right? Don't hesitate about it. Okay. So photosynthesis process is of two types. That is oxygenic and anoxygenic. What does it mean? What is oxygenic and what is anoxygenic? Oxygenic. Oxy means oxygen, genic means production. So the process of photosynthesis where production of oxygen takes place, we call that process of photosynthesis oxygenic photosynthesis. Generally, This type of the photosynthesis takes place in green plant, green bacteria, and blue-green algae. What is oxygenic photosynthesis? In oxygenic photosynthesis, look, carbon dioxide, I have already written this reaction. This carbon dioxide, it combines with the water. So 6 carbon dioxide molecule, 12 water molecule, and what else is required? The requirement is chlorophyll, right? And what else? That is a light. So with the help of chlorophyll and light, formation of C6H12O6 takes place. What is that? This C6H12O6.
That's glucose.
Right, that is glucose. So formation of glucose takes place. Then 6 water molecule goes as a waste, and as a byproduct, formation of oxygen takes place. So the formation of oxygen is taking place. That's why we call it oxygenic photosynthesis, right? What is anoxygenic? N means without, oxygenic means without, oxy means oxygen, and genic means production, right? Anoxygenic means without oxygen production, right? So what happened here? In place of water molecule, hydrogen sulfide is utilized, H2S, right? So in above reaction, the hydrogen donor was water. In below reaction, the hydrogen donor is sulfur. Here, the carbon dioxide combines with H2S, then formation of glucose takes place, 6 water molecules are produced, and in place of water, sulfur is produced. And this is called anoxygenic photosynthesis. And this kind of the photosynthesis takes place in sulfur bacteria. That is an exception. This is exceptional photosynthesis where the photosynthesis takes place, formation of food takes place, but water production do not take place. This kind of the reaction is called anoxygen. So photosynthesis reaction is of two types, oxygenic and anoxygenic. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Please note it down both of the reaction, then I'll dictate you.
Okay. Sir, what's written in the end of an anoxygenic reaction?
And last, that is a 12 sulfur molecule atom,
Okay.
12S, and example is sulfur bacteria.
Okay. Done, sir.
Done? Okay. So please start writing now. Oxygenic photosynthesis is that where production of oxygen takes place along with food, where production of oxygen takes place along with food in the process of photosynthesis. Full stop. It takes place in green plant, comma, green bacteria, green plant, green bacteria, and blue-green algae and BGA, blue-green algae. Full stop. Next point. Anoxygenic photosynthesis. Anoxygenic photosynthesis is the process in which production of oxygen do not takes place in the process of production of oxygen do not takes place in the process of photosynthesis. Production of oxygen do not takes place in the process of photosynthesis. Full stop. In this reaction, hydrogen donor is not water. Rather, some other molecule like H2S. Full stop. It takes place in some primitive bacteria. It takes place in some primitive bacteria like sulfur bacteria. Okay. Now the second thing is, which is the next thing which is given, that is the role of chloroplast. Right. Write it down, the role of chloroplast. Now I'll tell you what is the grana, what is the stroma, what is the role of chloroplast. I think we have discussed it. Or do you have any idea about this? The role of the chloroplast? Structure of chloroplast you must have gone through in your syllabus in your cell biology. Do you have idea about the chloroplast?
Chloroplast?
Yeah. Any idea?
To make food.
In chloroplast, what is the chloroplast and what is its function?
Is it to make food?
Where it is found?
Oh, chloroplast, it is found in mesophyll cells.
Very good, excellent. Mesophyll cells. Very good, excellent. So these are found in mesophyll cells, and they are meant for they are site of the photosynthesis. Right, very good. We have the basic idea. Fine. So these are found in mesophyll cells. This is the structure of chloroplast. Right. Okay. Now what happens? So first, I would like to discuss with you the structure of chloroplast. So chloroplast is double layered structure. Sometimes it is said that there are the 3 layers. I'll discuss you how the scientist says that there are 3 layers, but generally we say that this is the 2 layers structure. There are 2 membrane. This is the outer membrane. It's given over here. This is the outer membrane, and this is the inner membrane. Between these 2 membrane, there is a space, right? there is a very little space. Inside these two membrane, there is some gel-like substance. This gel-like substance is called stroma. I have written over here, this is the matrix. It is called matrix as well, stroma or matrix. It's a gel-like substance. Here, there are some piles of the coin, right? These piles of the coin are called granum. So granum is singular and all these piles are called grana, right? So these are the granum, right? These granums remains interconnected with each other,
Sir,
right?
I can't hear you.
You can't listen me. Am I audible to you?
Yeah, now you are.
Okay. So inside this two-layer structure, there is some gel-like substance. That gel-like substance is called stroma, right? Stroma is also known as matrix, right? Inside this matrix or stroma, there are these piles of coin, right? Coin-like structure. So these piles or these bundles of the coin, these bundle of the coins are called granum, right? Granum is a singular term and grana is a plural term. All these piles or all these bundles will be called collectively called grana, right? These granum remains interconnected with these structure. Actually, they are called stroma levely, but need not to mention over here, right? These granums, so generally every granum have two like it may be the number of these stroma may be up to sorry, the number of the these coins may be up to 250, right? So these individual coin like structure individually they are called thylakoids, right? So number of the thylakoid means 2 to 200 thylakoid they pile up or they get arranged in a form of bundle and we call them granum, right? This is the site of photosynthesis where does the light reaction or photosynthesis takes place. Here I have shown the structure of thylakoid. Thylakoid, the space inside the thylakoid is known as lumen, right? And in lumen there are some small structure. These small structures which you can see, these molecular structure, these molecular structures are known as chlorophyll molecules, right? So they are called this structure. This structure which you can see, these embedded structure, they are known as this structure. They are called chlorophyll molecules. Chlorophyll. So with the help of these molecule, the reaction takes place. Is it clear? Here, look. Here the water molecule breaks down and then the further process takes place, right? So this reaction takes place with the help of light. That's why we call light reaction. Is it clear to you?
Sir, which part is chlorophyll? The space between the membranes?
No. This arrow I have made this arrow. This one. These structure.
Oh, okay.
These structure. This is these molecules are embedded. These molecules are basically made up of chlorophyll, right? So here the water molecule breaks down. That is called photolysis, right? So this reaction takes place with the help of light. So the breakdown of water molecule takes place over here, right? So this is called light reaction, and it takes place in where? In grana, where? In the surface of thylakoid. Who help? And during this process, the formation of ATP takes place. Means energy currency is produced over here, right? During this reaction, light reaction, energy is produced. Along with that, one more molecule is produced that is called NADPH. NADPH is also an energy molecule, right? One NADPH is equal to 3 ATP. Should I write it down?
Yes.
Please make these this diagram. This is very useful diagram, and I am going to write it down. One NADPH, NADPH is equal to 3 ATP.
Done, sir.
Great. Okay.
So what is C3 or C4, Kelvin?
Let me tell you. Look, the photosynthesis reaction takes place in two parts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One more thing which is mentioned in your notebook in this topic only. What is the PAR, right? Photosynthetically active radiation. PAR means that part of light or that part of the wavelength which is responsible for clicking this reaction or which is responsible for inducing this reaction or catalyzing this reaction, right? Means if I say you in simple word that this is the frequency of the light which is responsible for the catalyzing of photosynthesis reaction or which help in the formation of food, right? So photosynthetically active radiation, the light wavelength from 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer is responsible for photosynthesis reaction. This amount of light or this frequency of light, this wavelength of light of this or this part of light is called photosynthetically active radiation. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Maximum amount of the photosynthesis takes place in blue and red light. If you will put two lights, one of blue and one of red, and drop both of the light in a plant, the maximum amount of the photosynthesis will take place. Then the red is most efficient, then the green is the least efficient light. If you will put the or if you will drop a green light in a plant individually, then the photosynthesis will not take place. In the presence of green light, photosynthesis do not take place. Why? Any idea, Affaf?
What was the question, sir?
Why photosynthesis do not take place in green light?
Because chlorophyll is green.
Because chlorophyll is green. Why chlorophyll? Yeah, the answer is hidden in this statement only. Why? Give me just